What's up, guys? Welcome back to Duty's Daggers. It's Friday, and usually I have a video come out Friday morning, but I somehow forgot to schedule it to come out. So I'm making a video here in the truck in the morning, Friday morning. So I want to talk about the Rosie and why it's my favorite knife. And I think it's one of the best knife designs ever created. So let's get into it. Please subscribe to the channel, like the video too. I love the Rosie. Right now I own 3 very high-end knives that are, plus $800 plus. And the Rosie is the best design of all 3. I have a Gramsmo Rask, a Brown Knives Cortex XL, and the Rosie. The Rosie is the best design of all 3 of them. The Rask takes the cake for just attention to detail and crazy, insane smoothness. But as far as design goes, this is, I think, the best design of all 3. So I have a list here of the reasons why I think that. In no particular order. Cutting performance. This cuts better than those other 2 high-end knives. This cuts better than most of the knives in my whole collection. We have blade stock that's not insane thin like TRM thin, but pretty thin. We have a full flat grind that comes down to, I think, like 10 or 11 thousandths behind the edge, maybe even a little bit less. And it keeps that thinness all the way up here. It gets a little thicker at the tip, but it's still a pretty thin tip. Not thin enough to be fragile, but thin enough to be great at utility cutting. The way that it's shaped, the tip sweeps down, and the belly sweeps down too. So this thing is really good at like food preppy style, like you're on a cutting board kind of doing this kind of thing, starting at the tip and rocking back. You can get a lot of this belly down before your knuckles hit the surface. You can kind of see there. It's just a very, very useful blade shape, and it is a slicer. Such a slicer. Being this thin behind the edge and being such a tall flat grind, it is unbelievably good at slicing. Also, the blade is kind of tilted down from the handle, so if you're cutting cardboard, it's trapping the cardboard, pulling it down towards your hand. It's not wanting to slip out and get you out of your cut. It's just an absolute pleasure to cut with. Next are the ergos. These are some of the best ergos. Even though they're flat scales, they're not contoured, they are unbelievably comfortable. Mostly because of the way these finger grooves or choils, whatever you want to call them, are. This is almost not even a choil. It's just kind of like it's really just a part of the grip, really. I think of a choil as being like a cut out of the blade, where you'd kind of be like up here if there was a notch up here. This is more of just a grip, and you're able to get super duper close to that edge, which I love. You're able to put your finger there, so when you're cutting cardboard, it slides down, can't get snagged up in the choil because your finger's right there. It's just perfect. And the way they do this, putting it kind of further back here rather than out in the blade, you get more cutting edge. So it feels like you're choked up and like really nice and close, but you're not losing any of that length of the blade, length of the cutting edge. The plunge grind and choil area is done really well. It's a very tightly radiused plunge grind, really, really tight. And you can see that edge termination is way down here with all this room for sharpening. It's just done perfectly. It's really, really ground perfectly. But anyway, back to the ergos. The clip is, we'll talk more about the clip in a minute, but it's flat. It's done so well. It's not a hot spot whatsoever. It just feels so locked in and so good. The ergos on this knife are incredible. Since we mentioned the clip, we'll talk about it. I love this clip. I love, love, love this clip. It's simple, but it's curved, and it goes with the lines of the knife. It goes in and out of the pocket so easily, even on my really thick seams on my Carhartts, which I'm wearing at work, which I always wear at work. It's just amazing, man. This particular Rosie is the full dark stonewash, so it really hides wear and tear so well. I use this a lot, not only on the weekends, but I'll carry it to work. Every Friday I carry it. It's kind of like my Friday knife, but sometimes even more times during the week I'll carry it. Because I'm not scared to scratch it, and I've bumped the clip up on things before, but you can't even tell. Next, the action is so good. It is the best reverse flick I have ever felt. The way the hole is shaped is absolutely perfect. There's a very interesting 2 detent ball situation going on in here. Because of that, you have no fumbling with like this double, people call it different things, like a double clutch type thing, where you disengage and the blade falls a little bit, and then you hit this point where the detent ball has to jump back up onto the tang. There's none of that, because one of the detent balls is always on. So you disengage and you're just free swinging all the way shut. There's none of that. It's gone. Sort of like Brian Nadeau's detent. It's a similar thing where there's none of that. It's just so smooth. The snappiness of it, oh, it's so good, man. It's such a crisp breakaway. It really feels unique. It doesn't feel like any other knife. And you won't get it, you won't know what I'm talking about until you try a Rosie. It is the best reverse flick in the game, period. The thumb flick is also really good. You kind of get your thumb sort of up in this top corner, right up here. Oh man, it's fun, man. The thumb flick is fun. I love the action so much. It's really smooth. It's not super fall shut though, which I don't need my knives to be fall shut. I want them to be smooth though. And this is absolutely very, very smooth. I wrote down design as the next one. I kind of talked about that already. It's just the design as a whole is, in my mind, perfection, or as close to perfection as you can get. Everything I'm going to talk about today just combined, into this knife is incredible. Next, the finish work. They do a lot of different finishes, a lot of different stuff. Mine's pretty plain. It has this milling pattern is called the radial milling pattern, and it's the dark stonewash over everything. And it's just done really, really well. All the edges are really nicely knocked down and rounded. The fit and finish is just really tight and really, really nice. A lot of the access to the lock bar is great. It's really good. But even just looking at pictures of some of the other stuff they do, they do colored hardware sometimes. They'll do anode handles. They have the skeletonized Rosie now, which is insanely cool. Their finish work is very, very good. The blade steel, MagnaCut. They're actually using some Vanics now too, which is so cool. MagnaCut. I'm tired of MagnaCut. But on this, I don't mind it because it's 63 to 64 HRC. And man, this thing, it cuts well. It holds an edge really well. It has to do with the grind too, the edge geometry, all that stuff. All that combined with this 63 to 64 HRC MagnaCut. Oh yeah, this thing is just really, really a cutter and holds that edge very nicely. That's kind of all my points. If you see this knife, you've seen pictures but never tried it, and you like how it looks, that is enough for you to go off of, to go ahead and pull the trigger and buy it. If you like the looks of it, there is zero reason why you would somehow dislike it when you actually tried it. Some people just don't like the look of it, and that's fine. It's just personal preference. If you're one of those people and you got the knife, you might learn to love it once you saw how crazy good the action is and all that stuff. But if you already like the design and you get one of these, you are going to be so happy with it. I bought mine secondhand, so the price was a little higher. I think I paid $900 for this one. But you can get them on the drops for, I think the lowest I've seen is $7. This one, I think new from them would be like $750, I think, somewhere around there, maybe $8. So they're definitely pricey. Totally worth it. I want another one. I want multiple Rosies. That's how much I love this thing. Also, they're all serialized. I have number 1449. Yep, I love how they do it too. It's right there. You can see it when the knife is closed, but when it's open, there's no branding whatsoever. It's all hidden. You can also see the, where is it? Where the hell is it? Oh, there it is, down there. The MC for MagnaCut is hidden right down there. I love how they do that. I love when knives are serialized because it makes it feel way more personal. You know, it helps you track the knife too. You know how old it is, and you know the years they've been making these. I think they're into the 3000s now. Also, you know, if you ever sold it and you saw one that looked like it pop up on the secondary, you could look at the number and be like, oh, hey, that's my old Rosie. It's just cool. I think knives of this, that are this high end, should always be serialized. I think it's important, and I really like it. So anyways, this is a perfect knife. I won't say the perfect knife. There's probably other perfect knives out there, but this is a perfect knife to me. Absolutely perfect. It hits every single thing that I want to see in a knife, or I enjoy in a knife. This has it. That's it. Hope you guys enjoyed. Get yourself a Rosie. Save up for one. I know they're expensive, but anyone could save up for one. It might take some people longer than others. Save up for one. Just do it, man. Hold off buying some knives for a couple months, 6 months, a year, however long. Hold off and put money aside for a Rosie. You will not regret it. I promise you. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.